What's good, yo? It's your girl Vinzyrah Pujanes. So me and my team receive a lot of message and questions about how to make a PDS. So in this video, we're going to answer those questions. So make sure you will stay tuned. Let's get started. So personal data sheet, or commonly known as PDS. Okay, so the first question is, what does the personal data sheet use for? So, para saan ba tong PDS na to? Para saan ba to? Bakit? Ano bang nasa loob niyan? So, the main purpose of the PDS ay ang magbigay ng basic information about sa sarili mo at about sa kakayahan mo. Okay, nakapaloob dito yung kung saan ka nakatira, anong pangalan mo, ano yung previous job mo, anong position mo before. So, kailangan nakapaloob to dito sa personal data sheet. Bakit? Kasi sabi, mostly ginagamit to sa job interview. So, meaning, pag job interview, tatanungin ka, ang daming follow-up questions, ganyan. So, once you give the PDS, at kung meron kang PDS, binigay mo to dun sa mag-interview sa'yo, mami-minimize yung pag-a-ask ng questions kasi lahat nandoon na, lahat ng information about sa'yo nandoon na, which is very convenient, diba? Next is the preparing how to write the PDS. Okay, so first, i-determine mo muna, bakit mo ba kailangan ng PDS? Bakit ka ba gagawa? So, it's either mag-apply ka ng job or meron kang kino-compile na data para sa medical history mo. So, bago ka gumawa, alamin mo muna kung ano yung dahilan ng paggawa mo para hindi sayang ang effort. So, this naman sa second slide, so we gathered relevant resources. So, ano ba yung pangalan mo? Saan ka nakatira? Ano ba yung medical history mo? Ano ba yung position mo dati? Ano ba yung work mo dati? So, lahat ng experiences mo sa job, nakapaloob to dito sa basic, yung mga basic information, nakaloob dito sa PDS mo, okay? So, next, understand how a personal data sheet differs from a resume. So, ang personal data sheet kasi, ito yung mga basic information nga about sa'yo. Katulad nga ng sabi ko kanina, kung ano yung position mo dati, ano yung background job mo dati, yun yung nakapaloob doon. While ang resume, ito naman yung parang your information plus yung gusto mong applyan. Okay, for example, ako si Vinzyrah Pujanes, gusto ko pong mag-apply as secretary. Mini-mention mo doon kung ano yung gusto mong tawag na ito, position. At saka it's like a letter. Okay, parang siyang, yun nga, nagsusulat ka ng letter para dun sa position na gusto mo. Unlike sa personal data sheet, this is your basic information. Okay? So, mas maiintindihan pa natin to lalo at saka mas mabibigyan tayo ng more idea dito sa how to write a PDS sa next reporter. Thank you!
Hello there guys, this is your girl Denise and now I will discuss to you how to write a personal data sheet or a PDS. So now, in doing a personal data sheet, of course you will begin with your name and your contact information. So any personal data sheet should contain your full name on the top of the first page of your personal data sheet. And for example, your PDS is more than one page, you need to put your surname on the top or upper part of the second or the subsequent pages of your PDS. So you will also put your current or local address as well as your permanent address if it is different from your local one. So you will also put all of your contact information or all of your numbers. For example, you are using a different number for work, for home, and for your personal cell phone. So, bakit nga ba kailangan na ilagay or i-state lahat ng contact information mo? So, for example, yung employer mo, for example, your PDS is for job application. ilalagay mo yung lahat ng numbers mo so that if one of your numbers that they have contact is cannot be reached, meron pa silang may kukontak na iba pang numbers mo na possible maging available during their call. So, the next step is to provide emergency contact information. So, just like, sa school, diba, we are asked to put a contact of emergency or emergency contact of our parents, for example, or our guardians. And by this naman, for example, you already have a partner, you can put his or her name. You will just list the name, the contact number, of course, and the address. Bakit nga ba kailangan pa nito? Wala naman tayo sa school. So, since yung PDS is your basic information, for example nga is for job application, or if you are already in a job, they will put it as your emergency contact that, for example, you got involved in a accident or emergency during work, they can contact this person, and this information can also be used if hindi ka makatawagan or hindi ka ma-reach. For example, absent ka na ng 1 linggo sa work, pwede nilang kontakin yung person to know how you are doing and what is the reason of you not attending the work. So, the next one is to support your identity with a driver's license number or social security number. So, ayun nga, alam naman natin na tayong mga Pinoy is very sensitive on giving our ID information or our this sensitive information or details of us since marami nang ngayong scams. However, yung purpose naman ng PDS is to gather yun nga yung basic information natin so that they will know you better, and lahat naman nata ng details natin or our files or forms that we fill up is being validated. Katulad nito sa PDS, syempre kailangan ng company na i-validate. That's why kailangan nila nung SS number mo so that they will know that all the details you put on your PDS is true. So, the next one is to list your education attainment and experience. So, siguro naman familiar na kayo dito since I think from high school, our teachers and professors are practicing us on how to write on the column of educational attainment and the work experience. For example, on our internship during our vocational course. So, dito ilalagay lang natin yung complete information ng school. For example, on the first table, for example, you will put the name of the school and the year you graduated and the awards that you have received during those school years. So, yung sa work experience mo naman is, of course, you need to put the complete information of your employer or the company and the contact number and on how long have you been working on that company, for example. So, ayun, yung education and experience column sa PDS is basically just the information of your work experience before and the list that informs your people that will read the PDS on your educational credentials. So, to further discuss to you the next steps on how to write a personal data sheet, I will give you to Jeff so that he can discuss it to you more. So, thank you for listening and keep tuned in, and let's welcome Jeff to discuss to you the next step on how to write a personal data sheet. Thank you!
So one thing you should consider when writing a personal data sheet is sharing information about your special skills, because it will show what are your capabilities and and how can you be effective on the work that you are applying. So you may include language you speak, or licenses, certifications that you hold, or awards that you may have won. It will give the person looking at your personal data sheet an insight of what kind of person you are and what you are capable of. So another thing to include in your personal data sheet is provide references. Include at least 3 references from various jobs and schools. By giving those informations, you will give your employer an insight of what skills did you acquired on your previous job, so they can tell whether you are experienced or not, or you are certified for the job that you are applying. So when writing personal data sheet, you should provide data specific for the type of the personal data sheet you are writing. So for example, if the personal data sheet is for medical purposes, you should provide information regarding your medical history, immunizations, and past procedures, and a list of current medications. So when writing personal data sheet, yung mga information na ilalagay mo, dapat relevant sa kung anong klaseng personal data sheet yun. So the last thing na you should consider when writing personal data sheet is to proofread it carefully, or you review it. Personally, I think this is the most important step, because you're reviewing the informations that you wrote. So you need to make sure that it's all facts and you didn't make any mistakes, because it's about you. So the last thing that you should consider when writing a personal data sheet is to proofread it carefully. Personally, I think this is the most important thing that you should consider when writing a personal data sheet, because by proofreading it, you're reviewing all the things that you wrote. It's really important because you're providing information about yourself. You can't afford a single mistake because it's about you, and you can't present yourself with wrong information.
So that is all for today, guys. Thank you for listening and tuning in with us, and see you on our next video.